Good day, good day, good day. Welcome to another episode of the Biz Snap Show, where we showcase small businesses, their business owners, the work that they do, and their clients so they can thrive today, tomorrow, and in the future. And I am so thrilled to be talking with Shiv Kumar today of Think Life Coaching. How are you, Shiv?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good, Bernadette. What a pleasure to be here with you.
Oh, I am so excited to kind of even get to know you more, learn more about your business. So tell us, give us a little bit of Shiv, like who's Shiv and all that kind of good stuff.
Sure. Okay. So Shiv is originally from India,
Okay.
and so I was born and brought up in India. I grew up there. I actually qualified as a mechanical engineer, believe it or not, back in
Wow.
the 80s. And after that, I worked in a couple of engineering jobs and then moved into sales. So I was selling capital equipment, like standby power projects. So it was more like
Okay.
project sales, concept to commissioning type of sales. So I did that, and I think I did my sales career in India for about 12, 13 years, and then hit a bit of a slump, like I can't do more of this. It was the same thing. I switched jobs and all that, but I found that, most of the time it was, different jobs, same shit, you know. Yeah. Yeah. So I just thought, okay, what next? I want to do something different. And I just happened to stray into an immigration seminar by Immigration Service of New Zealand. And I was sold, basically on what they presented. Now, obviously they did a good selling job. Um, but, but I was sold. And then I thought, well, I wanted something different. What could be more different than taking a leap into the unknown? And back then, of course, we didn't have the benefit of Google and YouTube and so on.
Right.
So it was a
Right.
leap in the dark. So I migrated to New Zealand in 1998.
Wow.
And since then, it's been a struggle initially. First couple of years were difficult, a lot of adjustment issues and so on. And then slowly things smoothened out. Started working on my career and did a bit of sales here and then moved into operations. And then in 2019, end of 2019, so before COVID, is when I once again hit that same spot that I had hit back in India. It's like, what am I doing? Is this what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life? It
Right.
doesn't charge me up anymore. So then I looked at life coaching, which is something that I was kind of having at the back of my head because once again, a seminar came through. So you see the pattern there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then, yeah, I thought, well, this is kind of what I'd like to do. So I threw in my corporate job after 35 years of working in the corporate world, including India and New Zealand. And then I just, struck out on my own as a coach. And here I am now in front of you. So imagine that growth.
Nice. But those things happen, including, walking into a seminar or walking into a training and resonating with whatever it is that they're saying. And, kind of like, all right, this is my pivot. This is my shift. That's awesome. And New Zealand, I mean, come on. I was just talking to you about the fact that before we came on
Yeah.
that I have friends moving back there. So you're going to see me soon in New
Oh,
Zealand.
I'd love that.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. All right. So tell us about Think Life Coaching. Tell us what it's all about.
Okay. So when I started this business, obviously we think about, who am I going to serve? Who are the clients that I'm going to be dealing with? And I thought of a few things, as we do, we toss up a few ideas in our own head. And eventually I thought, look, I need to be looking at people like my former self, who feel kind of trapped.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe mid-career, maybe they're about, 15 years through their career, but they've got a second half. And
Right.
often, they reach a stage where they feel undervalued, they feel unappreciated in their jobs, and they might just be thinking, but I've got no choice. This is all I know.
Mm.
And the truth is, you do have a choice. It's just that it's not clear to you.
Right.
So I help people like that get some clarity
Nice.
on what lies ahead, so that they can feel more energized about their careers and their lives,
Right. Right.
Because from personal experience, I know that you cannot isolate your work from your life.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You can't say, I'm unhappy at work, but I love my life.
Right. Right.
So
Because love is all encompassing, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It plays such a big part because we spend so much time on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I want to be there helping people like that move forward in life.
So so paint me a picture of this individual, whether it's age, gender, demographic, what do they look like?
Okay, so for me, it would be like a mature mid-level sort of manager. So they've got a team that they lead or a team that they manage. And they also have a senior management team that they report to. Right. And they might be in the age group of maybe 40 to 60.
Yep.
With about 15 to 20 years of work experience.
Right. Right.
And I don't have a specific gender in mind because, I mean, when you come to New Zealand, you realize that there are many women who are in these roles, just as there are men.
Mm-hmm.
And they could be just as frustrated.
Yes. Amen.
So, yeah, exactly. So for me, it's people like that, maybe someone like that who's now reached a stage where they're tired of the corporate bullshit. There's far too much of it around them. They are not in a position where they dictate the policy of a company in terms of the direction that the company is going, but they're in a position where they have to execute those decisions.
Right.
So, I mean, I might say something like they're the meat in the sandwich.
Yeah.
And if they're vegetarian, they're the tomato or cucumber in the sandwich.
And how do you the meat of the sandwich? That's hysterical. I'm going to remember that. And how do you find these people, or how do they find you?
Okay, so essentially, it's through social media at this stage, because initially when I started the business, that was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that, it would be a lot of direct face-to-face contact. I'd be doing maybe some seminar again. There's the seminar word again, but I thought I'd be giving it this time. And I thought it'll be more like that. But then, of course, COVID decided that, everybody's plans have got to change. And initially, I felt a little bit dejected, thinking I've just started my business and here's COVID coming along and, sweeping everything aside. But you know what? It actually was a blessing in disguise. Because now, when I was forced to go online, I just realized that, hey, I've got the whole world as my playing field. I don't need to be restricted to little old New Zealand,
Yep.
Beautiful as it may be, it's only got 5 million people.
Right. It's true.
Yeah. So I reach out to people through my Facebook and LinkedIn. I do have a YouTube channel. I've got a podcast and so on. So a lot of it is me.
What is your podcast?
My podcast is called Think, Believe, Achieve.
Nice.
And all the links are there on my website. So my website is like the main portal for anyone who wants to know more about Shiv or about Think Life coaching.
Right. Awesome. And what would you say, other than the clarity? I get that. What would you say would be the other big problems that your client is having that you're helping them to solve? And I'll add a second in that. Do you have a specific process or a specific methodology that you use to help them kind of go down their path, go down that journey?
Okay, so to answer the first part of your question, and this is from personal experience, right? When a person is in that state that I spoke about,
right,
mostly their life is dictated by the goals of the company that they work for.
True.
they forget that you need to have your own personal goals too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they often feel that they're like a ship that's adrift in the ocean, and it just gets pushed around by wherever the waves take it.
Right.
I want to help people set goals for themselves so they realize that, hey, it's not all about the company that I work for, it's about me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially for the second half, Bernadette, because my ideal client would have done a lot of work getting to where they are now. Right? They would have climbed a few rungs of the corporate ladder and got there through hard work, dedication, effort,
Right.
and so on.
Right.
Having got there, to now feel that the rest of my life or the rest of my career is just going to be, dragging my feet along until I get to the point where I retire. That's not a very inspiring way to live life.
Yeah. No. Amen. Yep.
So that's the main thing. I want people to realize that there is a choice, firstly. Your life doesn't have to be just the way it is now. And as long as you can set goals for yourself and have action plans, life can be great.
That's awesome. 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 Awesome.
Thanks. One main thing I want to add here is that a lot of times, people their self-esteem tends to take a dive when they get to this stage because they feel this is all I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't learn new things now. I want to help people lift their self-esteem.
Yeah.
They need to be convinced of the value that they bring to any employer.
Right.
And that's kind of like a switch, because once you realize that, hey, you know what? Yes, I need this job. Yes, I need the money. So this particular job is very valuable to me, but I'm valuable to this company too for what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
And that changes the mindset, I think.
Absolutely. 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 It absolutely does. Yep. Because you're realizing your value, contribution, purpose. Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely see how influential you could be in helping people really recognize that within themselves.
Yeah. I like to
Absolutely.
think of it this way, Bernadette. I like to think of myself when I'm a coach to a client, I like to think of myself as a GPS. When we sit in the car, we decide where we want to go. We decide how fast we want to go. But the GPS does help in terms of, what's the best way to get there.
Right.
So I want to be like that, be alongside the client, helping them on their journey.
And do you have, so go into that second question.
The second part of your question, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I do have a structure to what I do. The main thing being that I work in, 3-month increments. So essentially the minimum coaching that I like to do is a 3-month package.
Okay. Makes sense.
Because we are talking long-term transformation here, not just, you have one session and you feel uplifted for a while. Because that you can get from a YouTube video or a book or something else you read somewhere. You can feel uplifted for a little time and then it deflates again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to work with people for at least 3 months so we can make some, lasting changes. Sweet. And in terms of whether I have a specific structure, it really matters to me who the client is. Because my structure is going to depend a lot on the type of person I'm working with.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So you tailor it, you customize it.
Correct. Absolutely. It is customized because they've got to like what we are doing. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless.
Right. Right. Yeah, they won't be engaged, right?
They won't be engaged and we won't get the result that we want for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Which brings me to what are those results? What is the transformation, the change, the results that your clients get as a result of being involved with you?
Great question. because end of the day, it's all about results, right?
Absolutely.
So firstly, there is a lift in confidence. Self-confidence goes up. Once you work with me, you do the things that we're doing together, you start feeling, hey, you know what? I'm pretty good at what I do. I bring value. So self-confidence, self-esteem goes up. Also, the mist that lies in the path of your future starts clearing. See, often what happens, Bernadette, is that people know that they don't want to be where they are. They want to be someplace else, but they don't know where that someplace else is, what it looks like. So when we work together, we build that journey.
Nice.
You want to go there? That's the there that you're looking for.
So you're not even suggesting that if these individuals are in corporate, you're not suggesting that necessarily that they're all of a sudden going to go out on their own. You're trying to get them to be clear about the value and what they're bringing, even in their current role. So then they can even shift their attitude and their approach to the role that they're currently having. Is that
absolutely?
Okay.
You hit the nail on the head, because it's not always about changing careers.
Right. Okay.
Might have been in my case, but it can be completely different in another person's case.
Right. Yes.
So once you have that clarity, you know what is it that you need to achieve your satisfaction and the fulfillment that you're looking for. And you're absolutely right. It could be within the same workplace.
Right. Sure. You just needed you're sending me back and triggering my last couple of years in corporate. I wish I had known you then. I wish I
had known myself as a coach then.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. Well, that's awesome. All right. So we've been sharing your website. And what other ways I have we could share your Facebook page as well. What is the best way for someone to reach Shiv?
Okay, so like I said, my website is probably the first port of call, because it connects you to so many other ways to get in touch with me. There's even a small chat window on there. If someone's not interested in typing an email, you just send a quick message on chat, and I can get in contact with them. But my email address is, just in case someone is interested in sending an email, it's Shiv, SHIV, at thinklifecoaching.co.nz. And once they get to my website, there are, multiple ways in which they can get in touch with me. If they want to, hear a bit more about me, see a bit more of me before they get in touch, they've got, a YouTube channel where they can watch some videos. They can listen to some of my podcasts.
Yes.
And see whether they feel the resonance.
Right. Absolutely. And could you repeat the name of your podcast for us?
Okay. The podcast is Think, Believe, Achieve.
Awesome. All right.
I want to make sure. Of my company.
Pardon me?
That's the motto of my company. Think, Believe, Achieve. Because I feel that's the journey for any person. It begins with a thought, and then you start believing that, and then you work to achieve it.
Absolutely. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shiv. This was awesome.
The pleasure's all mine.
Yes, I'm going to come to you in New Zealand. I promise.
Oh, that is such wonderful news. Now I'm going to start bugging you about it every time I meet you.
I will let you know as soon as I know. Seriously. All right. Well,
sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the honor of having me on your show.
You are very welcome. And for everyone, if you happen to have a business that you want to showcase in a 15-minute interview, then please reach out to us at mediarelations@balloffiremedia.com, because we're in the business of helping business owners and their businesses get the visibility that they deserve so they thrive today, tomorrow, and in the future. And I'll look forward to seeing you right back here for another episode of the Biz Snap Show. Take care, everybody. Bye.